Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, sending me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Remember the Flowers. So y'all, let's just go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes when it's you. Let's jump right in. Alarm Jan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. What kind of voice was I doing for Axel? When you woke up here, how much do you know? I'm far away from home, and I want to get back. I see. What? That's something we can talk about when we get back to our base. We have a doctor we want you to see. They can probably help. With? Axel's about to reply, but he's interrupted by the yawning dragon next to him. Oh, good morning, Ring. Hope you slept well. He sits himself up to stretch and then groans. I'd probably have slept longer if you weren't yapping to... When he opens his eyes, he zeroes in on me. Oh, right. You haven't been blabbing to him, have you? No, we were just talking. About? It takes every ounce of my being not to say that stick up your ass. I was curious about the book he was reading. I wasn't talking to you. Axel, are we really bringing him? Yes, Ring, that's been established. I'm gonna make a call when we stop. Be my guest. The dragon pulls out his bulky axe and grumbles as he works on it. What? He snaps at me. I guess I was staring at him. Even so, I roll my eyes and look away. Can't wait to run away from him in particular. Axel gives a loud sigh. Ring, you could stand to be a bit more hospitable. You could stand to use better judgment. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, this wasn't my idea. You didn't even try to negotiate with her. Why are you so against this? We don't need anyone else to weigh us down. It's hard enough to keep track of everyone as is. Ugh! They don't like being talked about as if I'm not here. Look, I'm with the dragon on this. I don't really want to be here either. They both look at me with a bit of shock. Then the dragon's face curls into a smile. See? He wants to leave too. That's... not up to me, is it? Ring snickers. At least he catches on fast. Look, when we get back home... The dragon starts groaning again. Ring, stop it. You're acting like a child. Whatever. He scoffs before working on his axiom again. Peachy guy. It's funny, because he's the color of a peach. As I was saying, when we get back home, we'll be able to explain everything to you. I can try to explain some stuff, but we do have to be discreet while we're out and about. Okay, I'll bite. Discreet from who? From the people who have kept you captive. We're both surprised the dragon's the one who answered. Yeah, what he said. We're not out of the woods yet. They can still find us even if we're in the in-vehicle. In fact, our next pit stop will need to do some, extractions. Wow, it's kind of refreshing to get some information for once, assuming that it's reliable. What's this in-vehicle? That doesn't sound like a word. It's not. It's what we call the vehicle we're in. He gestures over to the dragon, who's not paying attention again. He souped it up so that it can be invisible. Hence, in-vehicle. I see. Lame, right? And don't be giving away my inventions so easily. I thought it was cool. It is kind of silly, but I stopped myself from snorting. What is Resoom? I can see the dragon turn his eyes toward Axel expectantly. It's a facility that... They harvest people and their organs. I blink. Hey, come on, don't be so blunt. He already knows all this, right? I don't know why he's asking. He lost his memory. The dragon goes wide-eyed at that, like he's genuinely surprised. It's getting harder to keep my composure. Please stop talking as if I'm not here. It's irritating. Again, they look at me. I shrug and sigh. Sorry, Cyrus. I don't remember much, just bits and pieces. What do you remember? I hold my head and shake it. It's a lot. Although I doubt I have any useful information to give them. Let's see. Before that, I have some more questions. Shoot! When you say they can find us, I presume you're referring to the people from Resoom. Indeed, they've been looking for you for a while. You were in one of their highest security facilities. It's not hyperbole to say that you're extremely valuable to them. How come? Well, it's your blood and genetics. It's kind of hard for me to explain. That's why I want our doctor to tell you. They know more about it than anyone. I can't help but pull my sleeves up to examine the numerous scars along my arms. I see. When I look up, they're both stunned. What? The dragon coughs before trying to wave it off. The tiger keeps staring. Wow, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how far they had gone. Well, I guess losing my memory wasn't the worst thing to happen. Maybe. Well, speaking of, we could potentially bring your memories back. Oh, yeah? Yeah, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. We even have the cause of it, but we were careless and didn't handle the operation well. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. We did what we could, and no one got hurt. He's still looking at his axiom, but holding his teammate's shoulder with his other hand. Thanks, Ring, but we did screw up. Cyrus, I don't know what you've been through in the past week, but it's our fault for not being more careful. For that, I'm sorry. Even while still sitting, he bows down in repentance. It's honestly kind of awkward. I still don't know what he's talking about. It's alright. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't have any ill will towards you or anything. You probably could. Cause of us, you're stuck here. The dragon chuckles to himself as if it's funny. I think you, specifically, are kind of a dick. Oh, yeah? The dragon slides off his axiom and leans closer to me, but Axel stops him. Hey, seriously, that's enough! Alright, I wasn't actually going to do anything. Not like he could feel it if I tried. All of a sudden, I remember the gun in my pocket, and how I'd like to exude some level of power for a change. On one hand, I should keep that hidden as a last resort, although it wouldn't do me too much good. I'm pretty sure Cooper didn't unlock it. I mean, ugh! You okay? The tiger snaps me out of my momentary stupor. Just thinking. Next question. Do you know someone named Lance? The reactions are some of the most surprising I've seen. I can hear the dragon quietly gasp before going bug-eyed. The tiger looks incredibly conflicted. Hey, how do you know that piece of trash? He's growling. I'm not sure if it's directed at me or the aforementioned piece of trash. I keep my cool. Glad I'm getting better at that. He's the one who found me when I woke up, although he went by Cooper. Ring looks at the visibly shaken tiger. Hey, Axel! No, it's fine. I want to hear about it. I assume y'all have some history together. What makes you say that? The dragon snaps at me. Well, your attitude, for one thing. And he told me a bit about you, though. Oh, I'm sure he did. Ring, let him speak. I want to hear. The tiger takes a deep breath to regain his composure. Please, Cyrus, go on. I want to know what you've experienced this past week. Yeah, what do I have to lose? This gives me an excuse to talk shit about that asshole. Even so. Do you promise to be as honest as you can be? I do. I don't. I'm not going to let him give away any of our secrets. Then it's a good thing I wasn't talking to you, isn't it? The dragon looks pretty mad while Axel is trying to hold back laughter. Okay. Obviously, I can't let you know sensitive information that doesn't have to do with you. But if it does, I'll use my authority as the leader to make it okay. How's that? Fine by me. Where do I begin? I recount all my experiences I had with the Yellow Wolf. Axel is listening intensely with a plethora of facial expressions. Even the dragon seems invested in the overall story. Oh, yeah, obviously I know you all had shared history. I'd like to know about that too, if possible. Axel grimaces and Ring looks at him with worry. I can handle that part. Wow, color me surprised. Seems like he's not completely terrible. Alright, just know that he hates you all, pretty much. Figured. He's clenching his fists in his lap. That's some uncomfortable history. Probably not a good idea to provoke the giant tiger in a closed space. I'll let it go for now and continue with my story. Admittedly, I'm a bit winded after recalling everything. I didn't realize how much really happened over the course of 1 week. Ring looks like he's contemplating something. Same with Axel. Maybe they're just going to tell me that's a common experience for folks around here. I hope not. That'd be fucked up. Eventually, I decided it's up to me to break the silence. So, yeah, that's it. At least as far as I can remember. Well, Ring? I'm thinking. Give me a second. Ring pulls out his axiom and starts fiddling away with it. I look towards Axel and he holds his hand out to signal for me to wait. It doesn't take Ring long to finish. Alright, I guess he can stay for a little while. It's a lot of decently incriminating evidence. Definitely not enough to put a dent in our workload, but if we can get his memories back... That's what I was trying to tell you, Axel states in I told you so tone. I still don't think it's a good idea, but I can't deny that that's a lot of useful information. That is, if we can prove it's true. How will you do that? We can try to probe you. I pause. No thanks. I wasn't being serious. He lets out a dry laugh. Could have fooled me. Like we said, we know a specialist who can try to help you. You have more in common with them than us. We'll let them handle most of the nitty-gritty details. I sigh. That's something at least. Not as much as I'd want. But what can you do? Alright. At least we're getting somewhere. This is a refreshing change of pace. Sounds like Lance kept you in the dark. He didn't even tell me my own name. Ring whistles. Damn. That sounds like him, though. Speaking of, I told you what I know. What can you tell me about Lance? Is that even his real name? Oh, yeah. You call him Cooper, huh? He's running out of names from what I can tell. You're not the first one to say that to me. Not surprised, but yes, Lance is his real name. Lance Krager. I only knew him for about a year or so, but he was part of our group since its inception. What is your group exactly? Ring and Axel look at each other. Ring shrugs, giving the floor to Axel. About 7 years ago, we started out as a band of thieves. Most of us had split off over the years for one reason or another. Myself, Rose, and Lance were some of the founding members. From what I heard, it was a pretty wild time. That's putting it lightly. It's a lot to go over, but as for Lance, he quickly tenses up again. Ring steps in just like before. So today our group is more of a mercenary deal. We don't really go around fucking shit up for no reason. He pauses. Usually. I can't help but snort. Damn it, I need to keep my guard up. I guess after telling them my weak story, I'm feeling more open. I'll need to reel it back in. We offer all kinds of services now, if it pays well enough. In fact, bringing you all the way out here was another job of ours. Great! Sorry about that. We'll try to make you as comfortable as possible. Although we can't exactly let you out of our sight for the time being. I narrow my eyes and lean back in my chair. Define time being. Pretty much forever. Don't get me wrong, I don't really want you here either. You're not exactly subtle about it. Thank you. Anyway, our current job is to keep you safe for the foreseeable future. Unless you want to go back to Resoom. I can't say I do. Am I going to be, under house arrest? Maybe if some agents are spotted around town. Although most folks we live around don't care for Resoom either. Oh, that's surprising. How come? I thought they were doing a lot of good for people. So do most people. Those who know the truth tend to stay away nowadays. How many people know? Not many. Another one of our current jobs is to try to accumulate as much information as we can to show the world how bad they are. Even so, it's possible that people won't really care. They leave the medical field by doing inhumane things, but those inhumane things have saved thousands of lives. I'd be surprised if you saved a few hundred yourself. Ring. Sorry, that was in bad taste. But no, I don't know what you're talking about. We'll fix that, whether you like it or not. Great! Ring, stop antagonizing him. I'm just saying, if you're going to have him live with us, he needs to pull some weight. He doesn't have to do anything. He's been through a lot as it is. Again, forgetting I'm here, I sigh loudly. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not in the best mood. I try to keep that in mind. I'll make sure Ring does the same. I stare at him for a moment. Thanks. He seems okay so far. He'd have to be a pretty good actor if he's faking his friendly disposition. Looking back, I don't think Lance was acting, just a lot of half-truths. If I wasn't so naive, I would have seen this coming from a mile away. I need to keep that in mind the next time I'm about to get sold off. Can we keep talking about Lance? I really want to know more about him. Axel tenses up again. Ring is about to speak, but Axel interjects. What do you want to know? Axel? It's fine. He gives a reassuring smile to Ring. I want him to trust us, even if it means talking about the past. Ring looks apprehensive for a moment before relaxing back in his chair. Floor is all yours, boss. Thank you. So, Cyrus, what about Lance do you want to know? Knowing that he's a touchy subject almost makes me second-guess what I want to ask. But I have to know what he's really like. Why did you kick him out of your group? Axel rubs the back of his head. Straight to the point, huh? Well, it's a long story. Sorry, wrong voice. Straight to the point, huh? Well, it's a long story. Take your time, I'm in no rush. Let's see. To cut to the point, he sold one of our crewmates off. I blink, but I can't say I'm surprised. I guess that's a common thing for the bastard. Seriously? It was a human named Xavier. Oh god, Xavier, Renegade Angel! We're all pretty close, but one day he went missing. We gave up looking for him after 6 months. It eventually came out that Lance sold him to the very people who he handed you off to. I grip my thigh tightly. Is this guy for real? Xavier was pretty special to us. He was an unparalleled beacon of optimism. As you can imagine, when we found out what Lance did, we wanted nothing to do with him. I still think we should have killed him, Ring interjects while wearing a sour expression. Sometimes I think you might be right. If it makes you feel any better, he's always scraping the bottom of the barrel for a decent meal. Even that's too good for him. Still remember that day. I hadn't gone that mad in a long while. We're on a mission when he let it slip. He was so excited to announce a big payout for a job he'd been working on. Rose smashed his muzzle pretty hard. She beat me to it. Hadn't seen her so angry before either. Gulp. What was the job? He said he got 600,000 plumes for the job. It took nearly half a year to get it all, but when he did, he couldn't help but jump into my arms. When I asked how he got such a large sum of money, he froze. You could tell he tried to prepare a sound and reasonable explanation as to why he sold one of our best friends. The fucker tried his best to make sure we wouldn't get mad. Suffice to say, we were mad. I don't blame you. Sorry, I know it's a touchy subject, but I have to know. Why did he sell Xavier? Was it just for the money? Axel takes a deep breath before letting out a long sigh. It was a lot like you. You both carry a really precious resource. Your blood. I furrow my brows. Our blood? Yes. Both you and Xavier are known as pristine carriers. Your blood and biology is extremely valuable to the facilities in Resoom. I hold my head for a moment. I feel like I'm about to remember something. Like a distant memory of someone drilling into my back. What do they use it for? You know how there's almost like a universal blood type amongst humans? Well, there are even humans whose blood and organs can be transplanted into any species. I'm starting to feel clammy. My stomach is empty, but I can feel warm saliva pooling in my mouth as if I'm about to throw up. Indeed, there aren't a lot of people like that across any species. Maybe 3 or 4 dozen. Okay. And what do they do there? Cyrus, I think we could use a break. This is an easy thing to talk about for any of us. Wait, no, I'm okay. Fuck me, I'm already showing on my weak side. Sorry, I want to know more, please. Axel looks at Ring for a moment. Ring shrugs again. Oh, look at me. You said you'd be the one to take care of him. I guess I did. Sorry, Cyrus, what else do you want to know? Can you tell me more about Resoom? Well, I can assume you can infer what they do there. A gulp. Do they use those pristine carriers as, like, farms? In layman's terms, yes. I roll up my sleeve to look at the scars on my arms again. Are you able to know what happened to me? Who I was? We want to let our doctor fill you in on most of the details. They have experience with treating cases like yours. They're more like me? Thanks to us. Every chance we get, we try to bust someone out of that hellhole. How has that been going? In the past 5 years, we've only been able to help 6 people escape. Including me? Including you. I don't know how we managed it. We almost didn't. You are our hardest one yet. Why's that? You're someone who had some of the best synchronization rates with other people. Huh? Your blood, organs, and bones were compatible with almost every person they put them in. Because of that, you were locked away, much more so than the other carriers. Oh. That's the gist of it. Are you okay? No, not really. Mainly because I'm finding it hard to believe all that, but that would explain my scars. You're taking it rather well. I've been told I have a good poker face. Once. I don't know what to make of all this. It's a lot. That's understandable. Just know that if you need to work something out, we can help you. Alright, I'm gonna pause it right here, guys. Good lord, that's fucking horrifying. Being used as a farm? Oh my god, that's horrifying. Jesus. Whew. Ooh, that is a lot to think about. Ooh, I don't want to think about that. That is horrible. God, Cooper, fuck you. I mean, Lance, fuck you, Lance. You're a monster. Ugh. Alright, guys and gals, that's the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. If a super thanks, or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!